How's everybody this afternoon? Hope y'all are doing great. Hey Amber. How you feeling today? Hanging in there? Let me get this on the desktop. Okay. That's not it. That was yesterday's. I was looking for this video. Okay. It must be getting close. Won't be long. Yes, it won't be long. Well, y'all, I'm trying to pull it up on the desktop. There it is. So I can see the comments. Wow. Okay. Ooh, next few days, I'm sure. Great. I know you're going to be glad. Be glad. Yeah, I hope it don't get bad tonight, don't y'all? Let me adjust my camera a little bit. Oh, yeah. But be careful, it could just come quick. He might make a quick entrance. Never know. Oh, I'm sitting here eating chocolate covered raisins. Are pretty good. Well, I don't know what much to say tonight, y'all. Y'all been watching the weather? Uh-oh. I'm gonna turn that volume down off the computer it was talking to. It's I believe the storm's gonna miss us, but I don't know about the snow. It might not. I think we're gonna read tonight a little bit over in the Old Testament. I don't think we've been over much. Maybe in Genesis 6. I should have wrote it down, every one that we've talked on, so I wouldn't go back and do the same ones over, but I'm thinking we did this one, but I didn't want to go back and look, but we're going to read over this one again tonight anyway. It won't hurt. We'll see something different than we seen the first time, I'm sure. I walked out on the back porch. I was thinking about doing it out there, but, you know, it was just a little bit, it's not cold, but yet it's the night air, you know. I don't think it's good for you to really, even if it's hot, to be out in that air. So, I'm going to play with my light here a minute so I get it adjusted. was a little too dark. I was going to talk a little bit on faith or praise, but I don't know. It's just like I couldn't find any verses that I wanted to read, so I decided to just go to the Old Testament tonight. And let's go over some of those. Maybe Genesis 6, verse 1, if anybody wants to grab their Bibles and look with us. Cindy bought these nuts the other night, and I've been wanting to try them before I let the kids have them, because they love them, hot stuff. But I wanted to try at least one. You see that? This is my show and tell for today, I guess. I don't know why I like this show and tell stuff. But these, I've never ate them, and so I don't know if they're going to be real hot. But I'm probably open them up and I get through and just take a bite. But I can't eat real hot stuff. They had some other night in there. It said, I think it did say hot on it, and Aiden can eat hot stuff and he couldn't eat it. So I don't want to get nothing that's really too hot, but I might just have to try that in a few minutes. Yes, we want to talk a little bit on in Genesis. I was kind of waiting till maybe some more gets on. What time is it? It's 8:30 nearly. Some people may have decided to get off of Facebook and get ready for bed, because church is tomorrow. The weather ain't too bad. So I think we'll go ahead and get started. And I just tagged a few tonight. I usually tag a whole bunch of people in it, but I didn't, because it's so late. I just went through it, tagged just a few tonight. But we're going to talk about the flood. Y'all know the flood that happened in the Old Testament with Noah? Let's read some of it right now. Let's see what it says. Okay, and it came to pass, this is chapter 6, verse 1. And it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. And the Lord said, My spirit shall not always strive with man, but he that also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. No, wait a minute. I got an echo over here. Let me cut this off. Like when I'm reading it, I'm hearing myself read it again. That's why it was getting me confused there for a minute. Let's do it again. And it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, the daughters were born unto them. And the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of which they chose. And the Lord said, My spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after, can you believe there was giants here? They were, because the Bible just told us there were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in, and the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men. Well, I'm not going to try to explain that, but you wouldn't believe it if I did. The ones that don't know about it, I'm not even going to get into that, because the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men. It's talking about angels, but I'm not going to go right there because it's deep stuff, and we're not going to go right there. Now, we're going to skip that right now. But the daughters of men, and they bore children of them. And the same before mighty men, which were of old, men of Reon. And God saw that the wickedness of men was great in the earth. There was so much wickedness here on this earth, and God saw it, and let's see. And God saw that the wickedness of men was great in the earth, and said, every imagination of the thoughts of his hearts were only evil continually. Men's heart was evil back then. And it repented the Lord that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. You know, God was sorry that he ever made man, because they were so mean back then. They were evil, and he regretted making man. He was repented. He was sorry that he ever made man. Did you know that? He did. He was sorry that he made man. They were so evil back then. That's why he had the flood to come on, because they were so evil. Golly, can you imagine? They was worse than they are today. Look how bad it is today. People are evil now. Are they more evil now than they was back then? Probably. They were bad back then, it said. And it grieved God so much, he was sorry that he made man. And it grieved his heart. And the Lord said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth. God was ready to destroy man from the face of the earth because they were so evil. Both man and beast and the creeping things and the fowls of the air, for it repented me that I have made them. He was sorry he made them all. He was sorry he made the birds and the creeping things on the earth, and man, he repented that he'd made them. But, ain't you glad there was a but there? Or what would have happened to everybody? We probably wouldn't even been here if there wasn't a but there. You know it? But that but, it says but. Verse 8 says but. Thank God for that but. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. Noah found grace in the eyes of God, you know. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just man and perfect in the generations, and Noah walked with God. Noah walked with God. Noah walked with God, and it repented God that he had made man, because they were so evil on this earth back then, and he wanted to destroy them. But Noah walked with God, and Noah had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. I can't say that word. Noah had 3 sons. The earth also was corrupt before God, and the earth was filled with violence. Oh, they was evil and had evil hearts, and there was so much violence there that it repented God that he made man. But Noah, thank God for that but for Noah, right? Or we probably wouldn't even be here. But Noah, and God looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, and all flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth. All flesh was corrupt. But God said unto Noah, the end of all flesh is come before me. He said, the end of all flesh is here. I'm fixing to destroy them all. I'm going to destroy all of them because they're so evil. He was telling Noah that. God was telling Noah that. The end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them, and behold, I will destroy them with the earth. He was going to destroy the earth he was going to destroy the earth and everything on it because he repented, because there was so much evil there. God don't like evil. God does not like evil. And he said, and I will destroy them with the earth. And verse 14 says, make thee an ark of gopher wood. Rooms shall thou make in the ark, and shall pitch in within and without with pitch. And this is the fashion which thou shalt make it of. He's talking about making an ark now. He's but Noah, see, Noah was a just man and perfect in his generation, and Noah walked with God. So Noah talked to God, and they had a conversation. So he telling Noah to build an ark now. He didn't say he would destroy theirs. He was going to. He was thinking about it. He was, because it was so corrupt. But he said, make thee an ark of gopher wood. Rooms shall thou make rooms, and pitch it within and without with pitch. And this is the fashion which thou shalt make it of. The length of the ark shall be 300 cubits. I should have studied on that and see how long that was, but I did. It may be 450 feet long. Yeah, that's what it says right down there. The breadth of it 50 cubits, and the height of it 30 cubits. A window shall thou make to. Told him to make a window now. Put a window in the ark. And in a cubit shall thou finish it above. He said, and put a window in it. And the door of the ark shall thou set in the side thereof, with lower, second, and third stories shall thou make it. And behold, even I do bring a flood of waters upon the earth, and destroy all flesh, wherein is the breath of life from under heaven, and everything that is in the earth shall die. He was going to destroy everything that had breath, and it shall die. But with thee will I establish my covenant. He's making a covenant with Noah, and thou shalt come into the ark, your sons and your wife, and your sons' wives. Noah and his wife and his sons and their wives is all that could come into the ark. Of every living thing of all flesh, 2 of every sort shall thou bring into the ark. Now we're talking about the animals. To keep them alive with thee, thou shalt be male and female. And of the fowls after their kind, talking about the birds, and the cattle after his kind, and every creeping thing of the earth and after his kind, 2 of every sort shall come unto thee, and keep them alive. And take thou unto thee of all food that is eaten, and thou shalt gather it together unto thee, and it shall be for food for thee and for them. Wow, can you imagine how much food they must have had to put on that ark for Noah and his wife? I think it was 7, his 3 sons, and I think their 2 wives. I think it's about 7 or 8 got on a boat. I think it was 7 or 8 got on the ark. I'm not sure yet. But anyway, I don't know if they all had sons and wives or not. The sons had wives. And thy sons and thy wife, and thy sons' wives with thee. Okay, let's go back down here. Then 22 says, Noah did according to all that God commanded him, and so he did. And the Lord said unto Noah, come thou and all the house into the ark, for thee have I for I have seen righteousness before me in this generation. He seen that they were righteous people. Him, Noah, and his wife and his sons was righteous, and they got to come onto the ark. But it took them a long time to build that. I think somewhere it said 100 years, I think. I'm not for sure, but I was thinking somewhere it said 100 years. I'd have to keep reading. I should have studied before I got on here, because I remember they said he preached to them 100 years or something. And the Lord said unto Noah, come thou into the house for I have seen righteousness before me in your generation. Of every clean beast thou shalt take of thee by sevens, the male and female, and of beasts that are not clean by two, the male and his female. Of fowls also of the air by sevens, and the male and the female, to keep seed alive upon the face of all the earth. And yet 7 days, and I will cause it to rain upon the earth. I don't know if they got in a boat 7 days before it started raining. It says for yet, probably was 7 days, and I will cause it to rain upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights, and every living substance that I have made I will destroy from off the face of the earth. He was ready to destroy all. God is love, but that people was so evil. He couldn't bear it. He didn't want it, because he is love, and he wants. And it was just too much, and he repented from making man to start with. Then, but Noah did according to all that the Lord commanded him. And Noah was 600 years old when the flood of waters was upon the earth. 600 years old. People back then lived a long time, didn't they? 600 years old? Wow. That was a long time to live. But you know, as the generations went on and on, it's like man's lifespan is like 120 now. At the most, usually. And Noah went in, and his sons, and his wife, and his sons' wives with him into the ark, because of the waters of the flood. Of clean beasts, and of beasts that are not clean, and of fowls, and of everything that creepeth upon the earth. There went in two and two unto Noah into the ark, the male and the female, as God had commanded Noah. He had to gather all the animals up, didn't he, and get them in the ark. And it came to pass after 7 days that the waters of the flood were upon the earth. In the 600 years of Noah's life, 600 years. Wow. Okay. In the 600 years of Noah's life, he was 600 years old. In the second month, the 17th day of the month, the same day were all the fountains of the great deep broken up, and the windows of heaven were opened, and the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. It rained for 40 days and 40 nights, till everything was flooded upon this earth. Everything died that wasn't in the ark that was on this earth. Everything. It don't say how many people. It just said they was I think there was a bunch. But they were all killed in the flood. But Noah preached to them to get in the ark, to get ready and get in the ark, and they would not. And the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. In the same day entered Noah and Shem and Ham and Japheth, the sons of Noah, and Noah's wife, and the 3 wives of his sons. Okay, all the sons had wives, so it's Noah, his wife, and there were 8 got in the ark. 8 people, plus the animals. They and every beast after his kind, and all the cattle after his kind, and every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth after his kind, and every fowl after his kind, and every bird of every sort. And they went in unto Noah into the ark, 2 by 2, of all flesh, wherein is the breath of life. And they that went in, male and female of all flesh, as God had commanded him, and the Lord shut him in. Noah didn't shut the door. The Lord shut the door. One of these days, God's going to shut that door. After the rapture, the door's going to be shut and nobody can't get in. It's going to be, the Christians will be gone. And then tribulation's going to begin. But God shut the door. Noah didn't. And that meant nobody couldn't open it, I don't think. Once they got in, the door was shut. Can you imagine all these people that seen him build that big ark and was getting all the animals and putting in? Don't you know they were out there laughing and mocking and making fun of him? God had never made rain. I think the garden was watered by the dew that come up out of the ground. He hadn't made rain. They didn't know what rain was. Noah didn't know what rain was. He made this ark by faith because God told him to do it. He didn't know what rain was. It's just going to rain. What is that? You know, the people out there was laughing and probably making fun. It don't say that, but you imagine they was. They was probably laughing at Noah saying, look at that crazy man. They built that big old thing. They getting in there with all them animals. Look at them crazy people. But you know what? It started raining. Like it's going to do one day when that trumpet sounds. And the dead in Christ gonna rise first, and we which are alive and remain shall be caught up in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air. That's called the rapture. That's gonna happen, and God's gonna that door be shut back, and that's it. If you don't make it through tribulations, you won't go to heaven. You'll be left here to burn in that place called hell for eternity. It's for eternity. You wanna know how hot it is? Go to a volcano and just try to get close to it. It's probably hotter than that. Me and Cindy was talking about that today. That's probably just like an air hole from hell. The volcanoes. It's so hot you can't get near it when it's erupting. You know, it's so hot down there. That's probably just an air hole leading into hell. You don't know. We don't know. But that's hot. And that's going to be eternity. That'd be somebody's home for eternity in hell. If they don't get their hearts right and make it in the rapture and get saved, and if they ain't got to give their hearts to Jesus, and he blows that trumpet tonight, tomorrow, next week, next 5 minutes, you'll not go and you'll be left behind. That door will be shut like God shut this door here for Noah. Nobody could get on that board. I'm sure there was people outside. They were probably outside the ark, and they was probably crying and begging when it started raining, and they seen it coming down and getting higher and higher. They was probably out there clawing on the ark, saying, open the door, open it. That Bible don't say that, but I can just see these people out there trying to knocking on that door, said, open the door, open it up, let us in, let us in. Noah, we believe you now, let us in. We believe what you said, it's going to rain, let us in. No, it's too late. God shut that door, and he's going to shut that door after the rapture. It's going to be shut then. And if you didn't get in, get your hearts right. You don't have to get in the ark. You just have to have your heart ready to go when Jesus calls the Christians home, when that trumpet sounds. The rain came then, and the trumpet's going to sound then for us. That trumpet's going to sound. We don't have to go get in a boat like Noah did in the ark. We don't have to walk and get in that boat. We just have to have our hearts ready because when that trumpet sounds, and it could be any day now, I've heard all the preachers, all the ones that knows the Bible so good, that can just about quote it to you. They know it inside and out. They are saying, the ones I've been listening to, saying it could be any day, any day. You better have your hearts right any day. Not just for the rapture, not just for the rapture, you know. There was probably people back then that died before Noah got that ark ready, you know, before he got it built. There was probably people died before that and went on to their eternal home, wherever they was going. See, they probably died before then. And anybody here now could die before the rapture, could die any time before the rapture takes place. But it's still the same thing. You're either going to go up or you're going to go down. There's only two places. There's two places you can go. There's no middle fence that you can get on. People say, well, somebody's straddling the fence. No, there's no fence. It's either heaven or hell. It can't be two. You're not going to, it's going to be either one. You're either, if your heart's right with God, you're going to heaven. But if it's not, you're going down to hell. My brother, one time before he passed away, he was paralyzed and waist down because a porch had fell on him and broke his back and he couldn't walk. And he said one night he had this dream, and he was going down this tunnel, and on the way down this tunnel there was the horrible faces he saw as he was falling down through that tunnel, a dark tunnel. And there was faces all in that tunnel as he was going down, horrible faces. And he said he was going down to hell, and he knew he was going to hell. He was going down that pit to hell, and the horrible faces he was seeing as he went down. I remember him telling us about that, and it could have been a vision. He called it a dream. But it was a real dream for him. It wasn't just a dream. It was a spiritual dream. Because he said it was a black tunnel and he was falling down through it. And those ugly faces of creatures on the inside of it as he was falling down. And after he had that, he got saved. He gave his heart to God one day. And he was out in his yard and he got saved. And he said the crows was laughing at him because he got saved. They were horrors. He said they were literally laughing at him, like they was making fun of him because he gave his heart to Jesus. And he was really serious about it. He said them crows was laughing at me. And he was out in the yard, and when he gave his heart to Jesus, and he said when he did, he said, heaven opened up and he could hear angels singing to him. He couldn't tell us what they were singing, but he said heaven was singing and he heard them. They were singing to him when he got saved. They was rejoicing. But the crows was laughing at him, he said, but he heard angels singing to him when he got saved. He was pretty mean when growing up, but he gave his heart to Jesus and got his heart right with God, and I believe he's in heaven now walking. I believe he's got new legs and he's walking now, not paralyzed, running around, having a great old time. But he tell us about them falling through that tunnel and them horrible, it scared him to death. It scared him bad because he seen that as he was falling through there, and it was a real dream to him. And it probably was. God probably showed him a vision of what's going to happen if he didn't get his heart right with God. And he woke up and he was scared to death. And he gave his heart to God, and yes. And heaven was rejoicing when he did. And anyway, I just had to say that, but you know, let's see, I don't even know what we got to, but anyway, God shut the door. We're going to start with that one because I did read a lot. But God shut the door. And one of these days, it's going to be shut again. It's going to be too late. I've told that a lot of times where me and Cindy went to that store and about like the door opened and I didn't go in because I was too busy looking around in the world. We was standing outside the grocery store and only let about six people in at a time, and this guy in front of her turned around, was talking to her, and the door opened and I was looking around at the other people or something, wasn't paying attention, and the door opened and the six went in. Cindy and that guy went in, and I was standing out, and I got up to the door and I said, well, I was supposed to went in. I was with her. I was supposed to went in too. I was supposed to go in. I was supposed to go in because I was with her. It doesn't matter who you're with. If they're living right and that trumpet sounds, that don't mean you're going. If that trumpet sounds and you know somebody that's saved, could be your husband, your wife, if they're saved and that trumpet sounds and they're not got saved, they're not going. You'll go, but they won't. And I could try to tell that lady at the door, but I was with her, but it didn't matter. You know, it's like God was showing me, it doesn't matter who you're with. She went in and I got left behind. God was showing me that so I could talk about it later on. She went in and I didn't get to go in. Even though we was together, it doesn't matter. She's my daughter, and we was going shopping together, but she thought she was with that man, and the door opened and they went in, and I could just see it's a big old store, and I could see them walking down through there, and they was still laughing and cutting up, and she didn't even know I didn't come in, and I got tickled out there. I was laughing, but God was talking to me, showing me all this stuff, but then I got tickled too at Cindy because she didn't even know I come in. I didn't go in with her. She didn't know I didn't make it in, but she was happy and carrying on and having a good old time talking. They was talking to each other as they went walking down through there, just laughing and talking to each other, and I'm standing outside. I got left behind. God was showing me, if your heart's not right, you're going to get left behind. Don't matter who you were with. Don't matter who you're with. You get left behind. And the ones in there, see, she didn't even know I didn't make it in there. I didn't get to go in the store. This was God showing me. He was showing me this. It wasn't just happening. He was showing me something. And as they were in there laughing and carrying on and, you know, having a good old time, like they just a happy-go-lucky walking down through there, and I could see them walking. She didn't know I didn't go in. So the one that gets to heaven and go up into Rapture, they're not going to know the ones that didn't go. They're not going to remember the ones that didn't make it. They're not going to see the ones that didn't get to come in. God was showing me all that in one day there. Just a few minutes, He was showing me all that. It doesn't matter who you're with. If they're Christian and you're not going when the rapture takes place. You'll be here. They'll be gone. So if you want to be with the ones that's going, you better get your hearts right. Ask Jesus to save your soul and make sure you're ready, because it could be any day. It doesn't matter who. You don't want to look around and everybody you know is gone and you're the only one left back here to go through torment. You don't want to be left behind and everybody you know went to heaven, because they might have had their hearts right, but you didn't. So don't be the one that didn't make it, okay? And you could be the one that God is waiting on before the trumpet can sound. If you're watching this and you're not saved, get saved. Hey, you might be the one we're waiting on before we can get out of here and go on home. It might be you. We might get to go on to heaven. Hey, get your heart right now. And that trumpet might sound. You might be that last one. Whew, I wouldn't want to be that last one. I wouldn't be that close to the end of not making it, would you? I wouldn't want to be that close to not making it. That close to hell. I wouldn't want to be that one. I'd be getting my hearts right. Yes. If you're watching this and you're not saved, you better be getting your heart right and keeping it right, because you don't want to look around and everybody else is gone and you're the only one here going through torment and hell. Be cast into that lake of fire. And don't think you'll go in the rapture after the tribulation, because if you can't live for God now, what makes you think you're going to make it then? God's Spirit's going to leave. When that trumpet sound, the Holy Ghost, the Spirit of God's going to take His Spirit out of here, and there's nothing but evil going to be here. Oh, that's going to be hell in itself. So if you're watching me, get your hearts right. You know, get them right. Don't be left here. You know, you might be saying, well, I'll wait till so-and-so gets right. You don't know. That person may have done talked to God and got his heart right while you sitting here on your way to a devil's hell, and you're waiting for them, and you don't know their hearts. You don't know. Maybe they didn't give their heart to God, and you didn't even know it. So you better be living it. And this is the day people need to be repenting. If you've done something that you shouldn't do, start repenting and make sure your heart's ready to go. I always note in the back of my mind, God's going to use me in the last days. I always said that. I've always said that. I just felt it in my spirit. God's going to use me right at the end because of the person I am. But I knew He was going to use me. He was going to bring me up and bring me out of there to help do something at the last day. And that's another reason I said, I know we're in the last days. I'm on here trying to win souls, because I don't want to see nobody left behind. Oh, I don't want nobody to be left behind. It's going to be horrible, horrible. We won't remember the one that didn't go. You won't remember your kids don't go. We'll never know it once we get to heaven. If your husband don't go, you'll never remember him, because you won't know he's down here burning in that pit of fire. You won't know it. We won't know it, because we'll be in heaven with Jesus, because we have give our hearts to Jesus. It's a free. It's so easy to get saved, y'all. It ain't like it's going to cost you $1 million. If it was, I'm sure people would be trying to buy their way in, but it's so easy. Jesus done paid the price, and all we have to do is accept it. Say, yes, Lord. Find you a closet somewhere, get in it, and just accept it, Lord. If you don't want nobody to see you, but He says, once you get saved, go tell somebody. Go tell, because you don't want to be left behind. Praise God. Hallelujah. Woo, what a day that's going to be for the ones that's looking. But what a day it's going to be for the ones that's not looking. Oh, the ones that's not looking. Oh, they're not ready. Oh, but the one that's looking. Oh, wow, what a day that's going to be. When my Jesus I shall see. When I look upon His face. The one that died and saved me. Hallelujah. I didn't know this was going to go this route when I got on here. I was just going to talk a little bit about Noah and his family getting on the ark and building the ark. But hey, God is in control. It's whatever He wants. And He's wanting this. He's wanting souls to be saved. And you can't say you didn't get a warning. If you get left behind when the rapture takes place, you say, well, nobody didn't tell me. Yes, if you seeing this, somebody's telling you right now. You can't blame it on nobody. If you don't make it to heaven, you can't blame it on nobody, because you are the one that's got to answer for yourself. I can't, if I didn't make it to heaven, if the rapture took place right now, I can't blame nobody else. It's my own fault if I wasn't ready. Nobody else. Nobody else. Nobody else. It's me. You know. It's me. If you don't make it, it's your own fault. Nobody else's. So, everybody's got to give it accountable for their own actions. And you can't go around blaming others if you didn't make it. But anyway, let's stop right there. And it's been good talking to y'all again tonight. And excuse me, it's been good being on here again tonight and talking to y'all. And I'm just watching my over here to see if I had any comments. But yeah, I thank y'all for watching again tonight. And tomorrow's Sunday, so I probably won't be on here Sunday unless, you know, the weather's bad and I don't get to go to church for some reason. But we'll see, okay? If not, I'll see you again Monday. I love y'all, and if the rapture takes place, I'm going to look the side over and I'm going to see you there. I know I will. I'm going to be over waving and say, hi y'all, we made it. I know. That sounds silly, but it probably happened like that. Okay, I love y'all, and y'all have a good night, and I will talk to you later. Bye.